Hello everybody and welcome back. This is Chispa and I've this is the third recording of this that I've had to do because the first and second one there was no commentary. My microphone for some reason was playing up and I thought it had finally given up the ghost, but apparently it started working again, so I have now decided to record it again instead of doing post-recording, because I'm a sucker for punishment apparently. So let's just get on with it. And this... Oh! Yeah, see, this one is a pain in the backside. And ironically, in the first two recordings I was able to do this without dying, but I despise vertical scrolling in games because of this reason right here. You can get hit by enemies without even seeing them on screen, so you can't avoid them. And it's just not very smart level design, really. Because there's just no way to avoid it. Get in, get in. And this is the first mini game that we have now got. It is Toad Jump, which is a really annoying one. Basically, the mini game involves you using the microphone, blowing into the microphone to make Toad jump over certain obstacles. And with the DS, even with the DS, the DS microphone is it's not exactly the best thing in the world, really. And so that game I've always found the hardest, because it can either be not sensitive enough or it can be oversensitive. So I don't think it was really a smart thing, but it's a nice little mini game if you can actually do it. And once you unlock, there are 3 mini games to unlock, and once you've unlocked one, you can actually purchase additional levels in the shop. And another... have another vine that I've actually managed to get up without falling, which is unusual. There we go. But I'm gonna be so glad when we get to the next world, because personally I don't like the look of La-di-da Plains and Whose Wood. It's sort of too I don't know. I prefer the... I mean, this background just looks awful. It looks like a clown vomited. Seriously, it's just not good. Now this looks a bit better, but I still don't really like... As a general rule, I do not like the backgrounds to Whose Woods and La-di-da Plains. From Shriek Mansion onwards, which is the third world, I do actually start enjoying it a bit more, the game as a whole. boss minigames, you know, in particular, you know, they do get annoying. But I think the Whose Wood one is the most annoying because even on a DS, it's just ugh. It's not pleasant to play, and the first recording, this level took me about, I think it was this level, it took me about 10 minutes to complete. And the mini game before the boss took me like 7 or 8 tries to do. Now the reason why this level took me 5 minutes is this blooming thing. And there is a reason for this. Because you have to get the... no, we're gonna have this problem again. You have to get this all the way over to the other side. And I'm gonna have the same issue I had in the first recording. Second recording I did it first time. So it's extremely frustrating because I haven't played this in a while, so I'm a little rusty. So let's try this. That's it. Keep going. I'm nearly doing it. No! I got halfway across, man. That's just I am so sorry about this. This goes to show you that sometimes I suck. No, not again. But I will state that if it takes too long to do the mini game, I will end up cutting it out because honestly, it's just oh no. Oh, do you know what? I have a full vibe meter. I have a full vibe meter, so I can attempt to do this a few times. But yeah, you take it all the way over there, you jump up there, and jump up here. Yeah, I don't know why sometimes I find that difficult to do and other times I don't. You know, I think it depends on if I'm a little rusty and how often I've played it. Once I get back into the swing of things, you know, that would be no problem. And we'll go straight on to the next level. And yeah, this background to me just looks ugly. It really does. I mean, couldn't they have come up with something a little better? I mean, I've seen the backgrounds they've done in later levels. They could have done a very good job with these ones, but it just looks so horrible. Anyway, this one is a bit tricky. What you have to do is you can't run just straight ahead. You have to jump. Because if you run into them if you just run into them, they'll actually knock you off. And you have to do it all over again. Which isn't good. And we're going to have to go down there anyway to get the puzzle piece, but get the toad first. It's just easier, that way you don't have to do it again. Now, one thing I've always remarked is these spikes. Now, they could either be pink spikes with green spots and a little white outline, or they could be green spikes with blood covering them. I prefer the second one personally, but it's more likely that it's the first one because of this ladder. That is a strange ladder. I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough, it's colourful, but it's just strange. I mean, what kind of ladder looks like that? That's a girly ladder, isn't it? It's just so Peach can climb up it in a dress. I don't think that's a stretch to say either, considering some of the stuff in this game, honestly. Ah, that's what it is. That must be the enemy that it was talking about. That's that kind of weird star-shaped enemy. I finally got to see it. If you don't know what it means, this is what it means. Somewhere on Vibe Island, a very odd enemy awaits you. It's shaped like a star. It's been spotted all over from Who's Wood to Wavy Beach to Gleam Glacier. Or so I've heard. You have to attack it over and over to defeat it, so be prepared when you find it. Now in the first and second recording I had mentioned that I'd never seen it before. And that is actually the first time I've ever seen it. So I thought it was a total load of BS, but obviously it's just really rare and you can actually go the entire game without even seeing it. Because that's what happened to me. That was the first time I've ever seen it in this game, so I was like, whoa. Cool. Alright, Cyclone. Okay. Go down here. I believe this is the last toad. Yes. Okay, very nice. Oh, I think earlier I mentioned about the Subbrella in an earlier video, and I said there were two, and then I went off on a tangent about the Subbrella. And that's because I really cannot remember. Excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. Damn cold callers. Why can't they just leave people alone, for crying out loud? Anyway, sorry about that. Honestly, you know, I swear, having a home phone, is just not worth it sometimes. Alright. Anyway, where were we? Alright, I don't have ground pound yet. I'm gonna save up for the Chargebrella first. Because for me it's the more useful of the two. I mean, don't get me wrong, having ground pound is definitely handy in some situations. But the Chargebrella is more useful. Oh, and here we go with the stupid mini-game. I really don't want to do this. This is the worst out of the mini-games, in my opinion. Because even with doing it on a proper DS with a stylus, I have increasing problems with it, and it's just not good. So if this does take too many tries, I will cut out some of those tries. I knew I should have stopped. Ooh, that was close. I mean, sometimes you get into a certain momentum and then it's either hard to stop, or your stylus or mouse gets off of the log slightly and you slow down. Wait, yes, wait. Second try, that's alright. Now, I'm gonna ignore that. And here is the boss of Whose Wood, who is quite honestly called Who, a big owl. Basically, when he swoops down, stomp on his head. Now, as I said, after 3 hits, after 3 hits, the boss fight changes. And this one is particularly interesting. As you will see right now, he turns a different color, destroys the platform, and now you're falling. And what you have to do is fly above him with Cyclone, then drop on his head. Oops. Doesn't help. Oh, come on, yes! Wow, that went incredibly easy. Ironically, that was the quickest I've done this in the 3 recordings. And now we're on to part 2 of Perry's Dream, which thankfully isn't too much longer than his first one, because they do get ridiculously long towards the end. I'm sorry, I just don't find the Perry thing very interesting. However, we are finally, once again, at Shriek Mansion. Now hold on, did I get... Yeah, I got everything in. I got all the toads in Whose Wood. Now, Shriek Mansion for me is where the game starts getting interesting. And the backgrounds improve, and I start enjoying the game quite a bit more. And so I'm actually gonna leave it there for now. And when we pick up next time, we will be tackling Shriek Mansion. Until then, this is Chizba. See you next time.